Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Thrilled to have in the studio with us today our friends from UC San Diego's ArtPower, Colleen Kollar Smith, Executive Director, Campus Performances and Events Office, joined by her colleague Liz Bradshaw, Associate Director of Artistic Planning and Outreach. Colleen and Liz, how you doing?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Good to see you. I love the shirt that Liz is wearing, Support Live Music. I'm going to have to find out where you got that, and I'm going to order 105 for myself.
Fantastic. I'll send you the website.
Please do. That's wonderful. Colleen, what's the mission of the ArtPower?
ArtPower is here to engage, energize, and enhance our community through world-class performing arts.
And this started in 2003. Been going on now for 22 years. You've been involved for how long?
I will be celebrating my 30th anniversary in July.
That's right. And so, Liz, this is sort of a repeat for you, right? Is that great?
It is. I was very fortunate to join ArtPower back in 2008 when we opened our performance lounge space, The Loft, and I returned just a couple of years ago to ArtPower, so it's really excellent to be back with a presenting organization that's just grown so much over the years.
Well, I mean, the footprint you have is absolutely monstrous, to say the least, working not only with the students on campus, the different divisions on campus, everything just encompasses UCSD. And of course, now you talk the 43 school districts, and you're talking about venues like Balboa Theater. Talk about the groups that you work with.
Yeah, absolutely. We're thrilled to be presenting not just on campus, but also in the community. And we present at the Epstein Family Amphitheater, a new amphitheater on campus, the Loft at UC San Diego, as well as Conrad Purpose Music Center, Mandeville Auditorium, and the Balboa Theater downtown, as well as surprising places. Last year, we were at the Children's Museum. So we like to go where community is and where they can find us. And we really try to find the best venue that fits the actual performance.
Yeah, and as you know, we were talking a little bit before the show started, Liz, of the uniqueness of some of the things. You were just talking about some percussion performance with flower pots?
Yeah,
Talk
that's
about
right.
that.
I mean, I'm always blown away when I see percussionists because they can just make the most incredible music out of this coffee cup and my pair of glasses and my phone. And we had recently So Percussion came to perform on campus. We also hosted a school matinee with them the following day. And typically when artists come onto campus or we take them into schools for these matinee programs, they will do an abridged version of the performance, the public performance that they've done with us, but really tailor it to kids. And so I remember talking to them the night before and they're like, we're bringing the flower pots out for the students. They always love that. And they really did. I mean, I saw minds kind of being blown about how can these musicians be making the sound out of flower pots.
Right. And like you bring up a good point, Liz, on this opportunity, Colleen, you can address this too, to now, yeah, you can see a performance at Balboa Theater, but most likely you're not going to rush on stage and chat with the artist. I guess you could, but probably make a spectacle. But what you folks do, this is the opportunity for them to be upfront and personal with the artist, correct?
That's right. That's right. They get a chance not just to experience the art, but to build a relationship with the artist. And we find that often gives young people the opportunity to see themselves on a different path. So there'll be question and answer conversations with the artists. They'll go into classrooms and work with our students at UC San Diego. Our artists will come in and do a dance masterclass with Transcendence Dance in town. So we do try to build those relationships with our community, with our education systems to get this in front of as many people as possible. And those K-12 matinees that Liz mentioned are free to any Title I schools.
Yeah, and that brings up the point that UCSD is so good at this and knows this. And we've been doing this show for 19 years. So, there are a lot of kids in San Diego who have never been to the beach, have never been to the mountains, have never been on a college campus. Colleen, and you can address this too, Liz. How important is that and cool for these guys to visit this campus?
It's essential, and especially with the trolley coming straight to campus and right to the amphitheater, it really has opened up the opportunity for any young person in our community to see this campus as their campus. We want to be the public institution and serve the public. And we do know that art tends to be the gateway for young people. So being able to come, feel comfortable, and know that they belong on a college campus gives them that idea that path could be for them should they choose to take it.
Yeah, and Liz, when you see that look on those kids' faces that are on this beautiful, expanding UCSD campus in a very positive way with Park and Market and now everything that goes in between with our good friend Ed Abeda's work and so forth. And as you may or may not know, we're very close working with Ed and Morgan in this area. This has just got to be music to your ears. No pun intended, Liz.
Pun very well accepted, and I enjoy it. No, I mean, I think just too the sheer vastness as well, right, of the campus, and it's a beautiful campus. We often say for anybody that hears either Colleen or I on the stage as we're introducing a show that really the most exciting work, some of the most exciting work that we're able to do and provide this platform and be this conduit for students and artists alike to have these relationships is truly what happens off the stage. It's what happens in the classroom. It's what happens outside of that ticketed show, because these groups of young people are the audiences of the future, and without them being able to experience art and understand what's possible and feel at home on campus, feel at home at UC San Diego, that's huge for us, and we just love welcoming them in and working with them.
You're so spot on. And what you guys are doing is spectacular. And you hit the word of the 2025 that I'm probably going to say way too much. And that's belonging. I know it's in the wheelhouse of our San Diego County Superintendent, Dr. Gloria Cerisa. God knows the world needs empathy in this. That one, by the way, the dodo bird, but you folks are bringing it back in for so many different ways and giving these opportunities, upfront and personal on it. We're chatting with Colleen Kollar Smith. She is the Executive Director of the Campus Performances and Events Office, part of UC San Diego's ArtPower, joined by her colleague Liz Bradshaw, Associate Director of Artistic Planning and Outreach. Colleen, talk about the LaunchPad program of ArtPower.
This is something we launched last year. I'm a native San Diegan. I grew up in North County, and I have had the great privilege of knowing many artists in town. And this program came when I started seeing many artists start to go to other cities. And we want our artists here. We want them to be contributing back to the community that helped to give them the foundation for their art. And so this program last year, we worked with Cassie B of Cassie B Music and Charles Evans and Katie Grady to create 2 performances. One is Dream Like Taylor, a Taylor Swift tribute show, as you can imagine, very popular, as well as Charles played Johnny Cash in Lambs Players' production of $1 Million Quartet. So we worked with them to create 2 separate tribute performances to those artists. And I'm thrilled to say that both have taken on a life and had performances beyond what we did at the amphitheater for them. And this year we're working with a couple additional artists, Jacob Heron and Connor Smith, to create a Disney Channel original movie show, DCOM Live. So those people who love High School Musical and Cheetah Girls and the newer ones, Descendants, will want to come. We have a free performance of that in April. And what we do is we go and we workshop it, and then we'll have another performance in July. And then it'll take on a life of their own. And these artists get to go and do their art and take their art out into the world.
No, that's great. How does the funding come? Is it within the UC San Diego? Is it with grants? Is it with other art groups, San Diego, or the foundation? How does that work?
Great question. Some of our funding comes from ticket sales, of course. We get incredible support from campus, and we're really privileged to be on a campus that prioritizes the arts and understands that the arts really do have an important place, particularly in bringing people in, as we've discussed. And then we do rely on donations and grant funding. So that's a critical part to what we do. And it also allows us to offer free tickets to our students here on campus. Yeah,
and anybody knows that, whenever you have seen your first live theater, mine was Pirates of Penzance many, many years ago, before there was running water. You don't forget it. And then you get the bug, as you know, Liz, with live performances or live music, and there's nothing like that. Talk about that.
No, there really isn't. I also remember my first major concert, and I went to see a boy band called Take That in the 1990s, very early 90s in Manchester. And it was just, because I think there is absolutely nothing like being in community with folks and you're all experiencing something together. And I think that right there is so special and, makes us enjoy what we do so much, is to provide that platform. And especially when you've got artists coming in that are, we had a group called Choir that came in before the holidays, specifically singing and being in community together. I really think there's nothing like that. And that for us was just amazing to have a couple of folks on stage who are, inviting the audience to sing with them, and we're all together, and the playing field's leveled. Everyone's there for the same reason, and it's a great feeling, and we enjoy that.
All right, so we found out what our first performances were live. What was yours, Colleen?
Actually, it was at Palomar College. My grandfather was early computer guy. He served in the military and then taught computer science at Palomar. And he took me to Peter and the Wolf. It was a ballet at Palomar College.
Nice.
And I'll never forget it. I was hooked, and they got me into dance class, and that's how my path moved forward.
Exactly. And once the bug, you can't get rid of the bug.
That's right.
And we shouldn't get rid of the bug. When we come back from break, we're going to continue the conversation with UC San Diego's ArtPower, talking about some of the upcoming shows. And we always save time in the second half of our Spotlight show. What can our listeners do to support your efforts? Obviously, go to the shows and all that, but there's a lot more they can do when we return with Colleen Kollar Smith and Liz Bradshaw from UC San Diego's ArtPower. I'm Drew Schlosberg. And you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 19th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, doing great things for people in San Diego County. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are thrilled to have in the studio with us today our friends from UC San Diego's ArtPower, Colleen Kollar Smith, Executive Director, joined by Liz Bradshaw. She is the Associate Director of Artistic Planning and Outreach. I'll start with you on this, Liz, and you can add to it. What are some of the upcoming plays coming up, performances?
Oh, well, we still have a lot happening for the rest of the season. A couple of pieces that I'm really excited about. We have Corinne Bailey Rae coming for a concert on April 3rd in support of her latest album, Black Rainbows. Many people will remember Corinne for her huge hit, Put Your Records On. Massive earworm, excellent song. And, you know, Corinne will be performing at the amphitheater. And I wanted to add that the amphitheater and the introduction of the amphitheater in 2020 has been a huge, I will use a game changer, I think,
right,
for ArtPower and just live art at UC San Diego in general. It really has given us a literal platform and stage to expand the program, diversify the program, welcome more people in, and welcome in artists to the program that we might not have otherwise had the space to present. And so we constantly see new audience members and fresh faces all the time, which is so exciting. So Corinne Bailey Rae is coming up on April the 3rd, and we talked about engagement. She'll be actually joining us earlier on in the day for a great outreach program with some of our UC San Diego students. So we certainly love to bring UC San Diego students together with our artists as well. And then again, a couple of weeks later on April 10th, we have the Second City Touring Comedy Company who'll be joining us, and they will also be bringing in some of our students from the Foosh Improv Group on campus, running a masterclass with our students, and then the students will be joining them at the very end of the performance. So really excited about those two.
Well, I see, Colleen, you have the Okie Dokie Brothers coming in on April the 5th. Just by the name, someone has to go see that performance.
Absolutely. The Okie Dokie Brothers are incredible musicians who focus their art on young people. So I first became aware of them when I had little ones. Now my girls are 16 and 12. But we were listening to Sirius Radio Kids Place Live, and they have some of these incredible Grammy Award-winning musicians. The Okie Dokie Brothers are two of those. And that's going to be a special afternoon Sunday performance, and you won't want to miss it. Whether you are of any generation, you'll want to bring the little ones, but it is equally enjoyable to the adults in the space.
You got to talk about the Jump Up also on the 26th.
We're very
April.
excited about the Jump Up. That's part of the Without Walls Festival with La Jolla Playhouse, and that is a free event. It goes back to that percussion idea where we will, as a community, be creating percussion together. And we're thrilled. Stephen Schick, who's a distinguished professor on campus, has Redfish Bluefish, which is a percussion group, and they'll be joining that event, and it'll be very exciting and one of those things you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah, I think whenever you the diversity of what you offer with the artists and the genre, from dance to music to theater to painting to everything in between, is absolutely spectacular, because what it does is every single person, whether they think about it or not, and I'll talk to Liz about this, and you can add to it, Colleen. Well, I don't have an interest in X. And then you start talking to them about, I go, yes, I do have an interest in X. Talk about how art brings that out. In any area, that there's always something that interests someone.
I know. Well, I have to say also, back to the Okie Dokie Brothers, I think Colleen and I might have bonded over the Okie Dokie Brothers.
Definitely.
Both have children.
It's a bonding group. There you go. Right.
And I think when we bring in some speakers too, I think that's when folks really realize, right, they may have watched a movie last year, as part of the pre-Comic-Con events on campus. George Takei and John Cho joined us in conversation, right? And so to talk about their experiences. And so I think really those, speaker series are fantastic. And when we have those artists that are in conversation, because I think that is another opportunity for audiences to be able to engage with artists on a level that's past the art that they're creating, but as human beings as well. And I think we often find that interests range from science to technology, and there's so many different themes, right, that will come out in the music. And so we have a group called Metaphor coming up. They're a chamber ensemble from Finland, and they're presenting a whole repertoire by artists that really relate to the nature of them being from the Northern Hemisphere. And so really connects with nature and music. And, so it just spans the board. And so I think when you kind of can help unravel those stories, you can find those deeper connections with the audiences.
Well, there's no question about it. And so if I can put a plug in for the next program you do, okay, obviously this one should go to the trash bin because it came from Drew's idea, which means that nothing. When you come up with sports and songs, come to me, one of my favorites is John Fogerty's Center Field and so forth.
Put me in, Coach.
That's exactly right, 100%. I'm actually going to get the chance to see him in a few weeks. He's playing at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. And if he doesn't play that song, I am going to rush the stage.
I think everybody else will with you.
Exactly. But in all seriousness, I think that's great. Do you take a lot of ideas from the theater goers or the music goers that, hey, this was excellent. Have you thought about doing a performance on X?
Yeah, we're always open to hearing what people are longing for, what they're hungry for, and then we put together kind of the smorgasbord of flavors for people to taste and to come and engage with. That's our hope, is that our programming is for everyone, and art should be for everyone. So that's where we're coming from, is that hopefully somebody finds a taste over here. They become comfortable with what we're doing and start to go, oh, I trust this. I trust ArtPower. I trust UC San Diego. And that'll bring them back to try something maybe they haven't tried before. And that helps all of us to start to understand each other a little better.
Well, you folks are doing something, and you know this, that is much needed in this world. There's never been a higher level of mental anxiety with our young people as we are now. It's just unprecedented in the whole world, for that matter, in this area. And by bringing art and different types of art and bringing the kids to you and you to the kids and all that business, because we know we are having an unbelievable shortage of mental health professionals. We know that. But this is what brings people together. It sounds obvious, but unless you've experienced it, and then you're going to remember, I do belong. I saw me up there on that stage, or I saw me in doing X, Y, and Z. It's just phenomenal. I'll start with you on this, Liz, and then Colleen, you can add to it. What can our listeners do? Obviously, go to the performances are important. What else can we do to support you?
Well, there's nothing as powerful as word of mouth. And so if you like what we're doing, if you like what you see, if you enjoy coming to the spaces that we have on campus, then please share. I mean, it sounds really obvious, but we do post a lot on social media. You can sign up to join our newsletter to hear about the concerts that we've got going on. There's always a very friendly donate button at the top of our website. Please, if it's within your reach, feel free to click on that at any time.
Well, and I'm going to put a plug in for this. Again, we've been doing this show for 19 years, and any group, whether it's a nonprofit or a school or a for-profit that works with a nonprofit, there's nothing so short of too small of a donation.
That's right.
If it's $5 this week, maybe next month it's 10. Who knows? Maybe next year it's 10. Doesn't make a difference. You're engaged because you did something. Or whether it's, and I'll ask Colleen this question: do you need volunteers? Do you work with volunteers? Explain that.
We do have a volunteer usher group. So particularly at the amphitheater, we engage volunteers to come, and then you can come and get to know us, get to know our amphitheater, and certainly then get to see a great show and be part of our community like that.
Right, exactly. So I'm sure there's a button on that for as well. And the same thing as I mentioned about donations. There's no such thing as donating your volunteer time so little. If you could only do X amount, at least we got you.
That's right.
And once we get you, then we'll probably get you some more in that area as well. Do you need product at all? Do you need, things donated, or probably not, because the musicians or the artists bring them in?
I will say this. We are part of the a student affairs and campus life group on campus. And that has given me an incredible perspective of what is needed on a college campus. So while this isn't necessarily ArtPower specific,
Right.
we have a basic needs department on campus, and they are always in need of many different products and supplies. So I would encourage people, for us, that gives us kind of higher purpose, right? It makes our work and our art part of something bigger. And our students can't enjoy the art if they can't have their basic needs met. So I'd encourage people to look up the Basic Needs Center at UC San Diego as well.
You know, I'm so glad you brought that up, because the biggest misnomer is, well, what do these kids need? They're going to UC San Diego. I said, well, then you obviously haven't been on a campus in a while. We know there's a lot of food insecurity on campuses. As some of the basics says, well, I don't have a computer, I don't have a pen, I don't have it's everything. So I'm so glad you brought that up. And by supporting what your folks are doing, that'll help as well. Promise me you will make a return appearance on our Spotlight show. Maybe bring in an artist or two, or a class, maybe the teacher or a student that has benefited from it. We'll work with Connor Christensen on this and get you teed up. And as far as I'm concerned, we can't talk about what you're doing enough. And we need it so badly in certainly every community in this world for that matter. So thank you so much.
Thank you. artpower.ucsd.edu.
Very, very good. Liz, a pleasure meeting you too. I'll see you at a live concert, I hope.
Can't wait. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Colleen Kollar Smith, Executive Director, Campus Performances and Events Offices for UC San Diego's ArtPower, joined by her colleague Liz Bradshaw, Associate Director of Artistic Planning and Outreach. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 19th year, brought to you by the wonderful folks at Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things in the community, whether it's food insecurity, it's financial literacy, it's art, and everything in between. We hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.